Hello. So we just went through the inspection process. What would be next? If your home is located in an HOA or homeowners association, in other words, then you need to apply. I would say 99% of the HOAs have an application process. We have seen where there is no application, but that's very rare. Most properties that are located in an HOA, you will have to complete an application for it, submit required documents, and obtain an approval prior to closing. Now, this is not a requirement by your lender. It's not a requirement by the title company or even your agent. However, if you're my customer, I will not let you close on the home until you have an approval, because the worst thing that we want to happen is for you to own a home and then not be approved to live in the home, right? So for that not to happen, I don't allow a closing without an approval, me, myself. But it is not a requirement for most agents. It's not a requirement for your finance company if you're obtaining a loan for the home, and it's not a requirement for the title company as well. Now, what does this association application process look like? Typically, you want to ask for rules and regulations of the HOA. You want to ask for the financials, the budget, and things like that. Because if you, for example, have a blue motorcycle and they don't allow motorcycles, you need to know that. Sometimes they do allow them, but it needs to be inside the garage or things like that. So it's very important that as soon as you have an executed contract, you find out about these things. Now, the application is basically information about you, your social security number, your address, the cars that you will be having in the HOA. Every applicant that's 18 years old or older needs to complete an application. Sometimes if you are married, they allow you to do one application and they only charge you one application fee. The fees for the applications range from $50 all the way to $250. Some places will pull your credit. Some places have a credit requirement. Some will pull your background. Some will check your eviction history, if any. So it just depends on where you're applying and where you're purchasing a house. But it is very important that we do this as soon as possible. Why? Because sometimes it takes 15 to 30 days for them to give you an approval. The board is the one that usually gives you the approval, and the board consists of homeowners in that association. So sometimes they're seasonal, sometimes they're up north, or they have their personal life scheduled, because they do this as a volunteer job. This is not a paid job. So you want to have enough time so we're not rushing and going crazy at the end like, oh my gosh, we're ready to close, but we don't have the HOA approval yet. That's the last thing you want, to hold up the closing because of an HOA approval. Now, some associations, not all, I would say maybe 5% of them, require an in-person interview. It's not a big deal. All they do is sit you down and tell you what they expect from homeowners, if you're allowed to lease out your unit. Some HOAs don't let you lease out your unit within the first year. Some don't let you lease it out within the first 3 years. Some have restrictions like you can't lease out more than 4 times a year, minimum 30 days, things like that. So it's very important that you know these rules, because if you're buying an investment property and you think you're going to rent it the first year and that's one of the rules, you're going to be in trouble when you find out after closing that you cannot do that. So important that you find out ahead of time. But it really isn't a big deal. Like I said, it takes anywhere from 15 to 30 days. Some HOAs are as fast as 2 days, but we don't want to wait till the end to do this. So the next thing that we're going to be talking about is insurance and how to obtain quotes. So thank you for watching, and talk to you soon. Thank you.